The scenic Wolverton Inn Bed and Breakfast in the New Jersey countryside. Hi, everybody. Gary Lee and Army Armstrong. We're here at the Flemington Speedway in Flemington, New Jersey for side-by-side monster truck competition. Ready for round 2 action, including Wild Hare, who's there by default, Army.
Well, Wild Hare was defeated in the first round, but the truck that got to him was a Gravedigger. But the Gravedigger broke his transfer case. He's not going to be able to make it back, so they're going to bring Wild Hare back into this thing.
And Wild Hare matched up against Bigfoot 8 with Andy Brass in round 2. Then the second fast loser from round 1, USA 1 against the Jersey Outlaw. The fast loser from round 1, King Crunch against Nightlife. And Equalizer will go up against the Carolina Crusher. So here's a look at Andy Brass and Bigfoot out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Gary, this is the monster truck that has revolutionized the sport. This is the truck that was banned in the sport for 4 months. The technology, the engineering in this truck is phenomenal. What distinguishes it from the other monster trucks, the Bigfoot named trucks? The yellow and red stripe. That tells you it's a new racing truck. And he goes up against Marvin Smith out of Arnold, Missouri. Smith comes back in via the brake rule, but that's kind of like somebody lighting a stick of dynamite and handing it to Smith.
Well, a good start for Andy Brass. Andy has a problem right there. Andy Brass may get disqualified. I'm not sure he negotiated the second line of cars.
The rule is both front tires must hit what you're jumping in. I do not believe, no, that's not the case. If you watch it,
Watch
Brass,
again.
okay, he rolls out, but between the cars, watch the front end settle. He actually tags the brakes. Now he goes back on the throttle, and you're right, only the left front tire hit, Gary.
One of the interested drivers looking on is rookie Greg Holbrook. You're standing by with Greg now, Army.
Greg Holbrook, right before the run a moment ago, you went out and ran across the track to look at something in that right lane. What was it?
I seen where he was going to hit the cars. We both been having to run that lane all night because of qualifying, and obviously what he tried didn't work, so I'm going to have to do something different than that.
What did he try?
He got way over to the left. Before the round before that, I got over to the right and jumped the hole. I made my my left side tire hit the tops of the cars and it cleared over the hole. So maybe I'll try to do that again.
Foot's out. You're still right in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's a little bad luck on his part. And I don't know if Wild Hare's out or not. He might get to come back. You can't ever tell.
Uncharacteristic, but Bigfoot is on the sideline as we take a look at Andy Brass, the monster truck back in the pit area.
Well, Gary, you know, that's the kind of operation they have. These guys, they race hard. They don't roll over for anybody. He's taking it to the limits. Just didn't work.
Well, Andy Brass, the tube frame Bigfoot 8, a big fan favorite. He's on the sideline as a spectator this evening here at Flemington Speedway in Flemington, New Jersey, and the Wild Hare of Marvin Smith. Now, there's a mechanical problem there. We're not sure if Marvin can continue. If he can, he would advance to the Final Four after actually being defeated in the first round.
The brake rule is actually working for him. This brake rule could really help you. For an example, the USA 1 comes back. He went out in the first round, but the brake rule brings him back. Why they have this rule is so that there will be constantly 2x2 racing. There's not going to be any bye runs. When you line up, you got to go against somebody in this sport.
Steve Wilkie in USA 1, Mike Wine, the Jersey Outlaw.
We're looking out the window of the Jersey Outlaw. Had an onboard camera there. Wine's pumped up. He's close to home. Wilkie's going to drive it out the back door. I guarantee you. Let's take a ride.
What a great shot from inside the cab as Wilkie pulls a length, 2-3 lengths out in front and takes the victory in USA 1. Mike Wine is parked back there on top of the first set of cars.
Boy, a tough break for Wine. But USA 1 took it to the limit. Steve Wilkie knows he can still be a player in this thing. A lot of sparks coming out of the Outlaw over the first set of cars. Once again, drivetrain problem, a tough break. But Wilkie, he's still hammering down, trying to get that quick time to keep lane choice, Gary.
So he takes the victory as we look at Dave Wyzorek in the Nightlife Chevrolet. And he takes on the Auto Value King Crunch Scott Stevens, a pair of Chevrolets here in round 2.
Stevens will be working the right side of the track, Nightlife on the left side. Side by side of hand track. Wyzorek working him. Stevens trying to come back. Wyzorek's in trouble on the right side. Stevens trying to shut down on the left. Boy, the top end at Flemington got real busy for a second there,
and
Gary.
Stevens took all the room he possibly could use to get that Chevrolet stopped. Wyzorek gets the whole shot right here, but gets in trouble coming off the first set of cars. The truck bounces. He heads off to his right and cannot gather it back in. Scott Stevens is the winner.
Scott, the replay we're looking at says you by about 6 inches. You told me over the radio you thought you leaned the motor out. What does that mean in layman's terms?
Well, we were trying to really gear up that round for equalizer because we, Dave's breed us a lot this year, but we kind of got a handle on that lane. We ran real quick all night, so we kind of leaned her out a little so we'd make a little more power, and hopefully run a real good pass so we could be comparable to equalizer. And got her a little lean, and she started leaning out and wanted to sneeze a blow or something. So I just lifted and got back in it. I kind of kept an eye on Dave, and needed to win the race, but we needed to step up a little, and probably went backwards a little on our speed, but we won a race anyway.
And here is one of the problems with the right lane. The way the cars have been crashed so far, it's kicking the vehicle off to the right.
Yeah, if you look at the collapse center of the three end cars, that's what the drivers call a hole. A moment ago, Holbrook was saying you got to line up to miss the holes. That's what he's talking about. You hit the hole wrong, it's going to hook you to the right or to the left.
Well, here is Greg Holbrook in the equalizer, Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher.
Holbrook is in that lane he did not want to be in. So let's see if he's figured out how to get over that hole with the equalizer truck.
Here is the rookie driver in the truck that won the national title a year ago, the equalizer. Porter by a fender, Gary Porter, and Holbrook almost stands up on the nose. If it is possible to tippy-toe over cars in this racing game, Greg Holbrook tries it right here. Now, he's an attack driver, but he cannot attack that first lane of cars, and by the second lane, he's already lost. Here's Greg.
What's the problem with the right lane? You and Bigfoot both have been snake-bitten coming out of that right lane.
The leaf spring trucks are doing okay with it, but our suspensions, where they're so independent, the tires just follow the contours of the car, and when they drop off in a hole, that's where they go.
Gary Lee, I think that's kind of unique. What he's telling us, the old-style truck will work on this track, not the new technical trucks.